Welcome back to Runeverse. I'm Andrew, and in this video I'm going to be playing through RoboMon, starting in the Pyrite Cove. So this is where we're at. Let's go ahead and hit play on the music. This is my third in the series, so you're welcome to join me and pick up from here. This is a full spoilers playthrough, so if you don't want to see what's coming for your own playthrough, now is a good time to stop. Although this is a prototype, definitely a work in progress, check out the crowdfunding page link in the description to see what is available to you and what more might be coming in the full game. And finally, if you do want more of a tutorialization and starting from the beginning, definitely check out my first video in the series. But otherwise, let's get started. Although before we get too far into it, the last thing I did in the previous video was to reprogram this Burn Viper and add it to my team, but I forgot to add its journal entry. I'm going to grab 14 from the journal stack and add Burn Viper, which means I think I'm going to be starting a new page. Andal, Sparky, and Treadle so far. And Burn Viper says keeps plant life at the optimal temperature. Now let's learn about Pyrite Cove. Rumor has it that many years ago, the people who inhabited this area plundered any digital assets they could get their hands on, and they buried the data in large metal boxes. Of course, the Great Collapse wiped out basically everything digital. But some people claim that if you stand on the beach and listen hard enough, you can hear the soft howl of an old limerick roll off the sea that speaks of a simpler time. And while we're down here, we can look at what types of objects I might be able to find with the search icon or the treasure chest icon or this new one, fishing icon. Although I imagine that means I need a fishing pole. Hopefully we'll be learning about that soon. And the RoboMon finder has RoboMon number 14, 5, and 6 somewhere available. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and take a look at the whole scene so you can see what we'll be exploring. And sure, why shouldn't I open this treasure chest first? It actually doesn't have a journal entry, there's no number, so I'm just going to roll on the chart we just looked at for the treasure chest, which is a D4. A 4 means I get a large repair kit. That's my first one of those. And the large repair kit can restore up to 3 RoboMon to full health outside of combat. Let's talk to this scientist guy. The guy in a lab coat is going to be 1113, which is a battle grid. Cue the battle music. Chemist Adrian says, "You can break down seashells to make all sorts of materials. If only my own breakdowns were so fruitful." A little bit of adult comedy there. He has RoboMon 12 and 2. On the reverse stack, 2 is Bovison, and 12 is a Magna Crab. Take a look at Magna Crab, who is first. RoboMon number 16. 6 health, 5 movement with a swim ability. I think that's the first swimming RoboMon we've seen. It'll definitely be important with all this water around. So any RoboMon can move into water. It takes 2 movement to leave a space with water. So, for example, we're going to be starting here, and if we want to move off the dock into the water, we can. Then it'll be 2 movement points per space until we are back safely on the sand. So from here, it'd be 1 movement, then 2, 2, 2. Then from here, we can move 1 again. So we'll probably be avoiding the water. But the Magna Crab will swim right through it. It starts with 2 armor tokens, which is a lot. Its moves are Rock, Split, Pulse, and Pull. It is a rock type, so it's strong against fire and electric. But Treadle's Fertilizer Bomb is going to come in handy again, strong against the rock type. And Bovison is a grass type, which is nice because Pandal's Fire will be strong against that. So we'll just choose our targets accordingly. Bovison has 9 health, 4 movement, no special abilities on its movement, and 1 armor. Cut, Hunker, which actually gives it armor, and Mulchnado. So I have my Pandal and Treadle tokens. If you haven't seen those yet, if you're watching episode 3 first for some reason, go ahead and switch these up so they match their targets. And then I need 16 and 19 from this stack, which is going to be on here. And just pop these out from the bottom. 16 and 19 are going to be our opponents, starting here and here with their armor. And then the speeds of 50, 42, 28, and 26. Magna Crab is pretty slow. And it's time to roll up some action dice. For our first competitive match in this zone, Got a lot of movement and timers to help us get in position. Timers don't do anything in competitive battles. And our attacks are being very limited, but that's okay because we need to get into position. We also need our action tokens for Pandal and Treatle. Treatle is very slow, and there are no trees to climb onto. A reminder, Treatle does have the climb ability that gives it extra movement if it starts its turn next to a tree. That is not going to help here. I think I'm going to let Pandal go in swinging. I'm going to use 4 of the move icons to move him 12 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right up to Bovison. And I'm going to use the attack token as a special attack along with a special attack die to use a fireball for 3 damage. So because we're using 2 symbols, we get to use the second number, which is 3. So we're attacking for 3. We could do a range 3 because there are 3 dots. But I'm just going to get into melee range and use Fireball, which costs 2 energy. So we're going to go down from 11, which is his starting, down to 9. And we're going to be doing 3 damage. This is a fire attack. And because fire is strong against grass, which is Bovison is, we get to roll the green modifier die, which will increase our 3 damage. It's a crit. So 3 is doubled to 6. 6 is reduced by 2 armor. 4 damage goes on Bovison with 5 health remaining. Bovison's turn is next, so we're going to roll a d4 to see what it does. A 1 means it is going to use cut because of that 1 there, and it's going to target the RoboMon with the most health. The enemy, of course, which is Pandal conveniently with 9, and I've put him into melee position, so it is going to try to cut for 3 damage using the basic modifier die because cut is not a typed attack. 0 doesn't modify it, so it's just 3, and I'm going to go ahead and block 2 with this armor die. So Pandal will take 1 damage. Treatle's next, but I spent most of the movement. So we just have this one, and we can use this defend token as movement as well to move it 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just to start heading up. Although we do have to be aware that Magna Crab doesn't have to go around. 2 of its targeting restrictions are on the RoboMon with the least energy, which Treatle is. It starts with 7. Even though Pandal just spent 2, it still has 9. Magna Crab's 4th targeting condition is the RoboMon with the lowest speed, which again is Treatle, and if it rolls a 1, it will try to target an electric or fire type, which would be Pandal. So there's a 25% chance Magna Crab is going to go for Pandal. Otherwise, Magna Crab is going to come down toward Treatle, which would be okay, but actually has disadvantage, so we would prefer that. So yeah, come at me, Magna Crab. So we'll roll a d4, got a 4. That means Magna Crab is going to be using Pull, has a range of 6, and it's targeting the slowest RoboMon, which is Treatle as we expected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away, so it can use Pull without moving, so it will. It says move all of your RoboMon that are within range adjacent to Magna Crab. It's only attacking for 1. It is not a typed attack though. The basic modifier die is 1 plus 1. 2 damage to Treatle, and all of our RoboMon in range go next to Magna Crab, so we get magnetized in. So Magna Crab did our movement for us, it just costs 2 damage. Now we're all in some nice tight quarters here, and we get to start a new round by re-rolling our action dice. A lot of basic attacks, kind of want more special. No movement, which is nice because we don't need to move. Pandal's up first. Another fireball on Bovison could finish it off. We could use 2 specials, or even 3 if we wanted to. We might want a fertilizer bomb, so I might save that wild. 4 armor's nice. What are we going to do with all these then? Maybe I should just let Pandal slam the Magna Crab, but if I can finish off the Bovison before it takes its turn, that is tempting. Well, I think because of advantage, we can guarantee a knockout, so I am going to use the attack token and the special attack die to do another 3-point fireball range against the Bovison. We get to roll the advantage die, fire against grass. That's a crit, which means the damage is doubled from 3 to 6. 6 plus 4 is 10, which is 1 more than the 9 hit points that it has. So Bovison is out. Bovison's turn would be next, but it's done. So we go to Treatle, which now doesn't have special. But we could spend this wild and just treat these, we're just not even going to use those. This Treatle's Clamp is not that exciting. It only does 1 or 3 damage. Piercing, which is that second symbol there, means it would ignore the 4 armor, the 2 armor tokens that Magna Crab has, which is nice. But unless Treedle's going to do all the damage on its own, Pandal's going to have to break that armor anyway. Or if we ever use Fertilizer Bomb, we have to worry about the armor. So I'm not too thrilled about piercing. The trap symbol is nice. It would mean that there's a 25% chance that Magna Crab would have to attack with disadvantage. But if it attacks Treedle, it'll have disadvantage anyway. And I forgot to spend Pendle's 2 energy for the Fireball. It's 7. Magna Crab likes to attack the RoboMon with the least energy, so we might want Treedle to have lower energy just so it gets attacked, because Magna Crab might be attacking with disadvantage if it uses Rock Split. Although if it uses Rock Split, it'll be attacking a Fire type. So never mind. I still think it makes more sense to just use Fertilizer Bomb. So it's going to cost 3 energy plus 1 more because we have to spend 1 to change this wild die into a special attack die. So that's 4 total, bringing Treedle down to only 3. We have 2 defense dice. I guess I could just use the token as a special attack. Sure, let's take 1 back and do that. So we're not using 4 of these dice. That's fine. Nah, I'll take it. We're going to turn it to wild. That'll be our second wild. So we get to use the 5 damage version. Attack with advantage is a +3, so that's 8 damage. Fertilizer Bomb minus 4 armor is 4 damage, bringing Magna Crab down to 2. But then it gets to take its turn, and it's going to do a 2, which is going to mean Pulse on the lowest energy RoboMon, but the text says all adjacent RoboMon lose 3. So Treedle is actually out of energy. Pandal's down to 4. The RoboMon with no energy is out of the battle. So it didn't take damage, and it will be refueled. I mean, it has 2 damage, but not from that attack. It will be refueled on energy, but for now, Treedle's out. So Pandal should be able to do the last 2 damage on its own. Let's go ahead and roll that up. And that's my first knockout. I mean, it's technically knocked out. It's still got a bunch of health left. Just no more energy. 4 basic attack symbols means Pandal can do a pretty strong slam. We'll go ahead and spend 3 of these for Pandal to do a 5-point slam. Roll the basic modifier die for a +2. That is 7 damage to Magna Crab, which is plenty. Plus we get to push 1 with that push symbol with the 1 dot means we push it once. We'll push it into the difficult terrain and deal 1 extra damage. So Magna Crab is fully taken care of. The victory conditions is that we get 4 silver and 2 batteries. That's a nice reward. We're running out of 3 silver tokens, but you can always just write it down on the character sheet that we have some amount. We're up to 21 silver, not bad. So I guess we were here, but let's come back around and talk to this fisherman. He looks like somebody who might have a fishing pole to spare. So 3713. A man peers out over the water and says, "In my pocket, I have 2 pearls in front of a pearl, 2 pearls behind a pearl, and 1 pearl in the middle. Tell me how many pearls I have in my pocket, and I'll give you a prize. Guess only once." So go ahead and make your guess, but I'm going to make my guess in secret and then turn to that entry. "Well, well, well," he says after he pulls a hand out of his pocket and tosses a circuit board to you. "You're smarter than you look. Gain a circuit board." So I guess my answer was correct. That was labeled as a 1-star puzzle. So if this is the first of my videos you've seen, this might be the first puzzle you've seen. There are going to be puzzles throughout the game, and that was a 1-star, the lowest level of difficulty. Thought it was a little tricky, but I did get the right answer. So I get 1 circuit board, and I'm tempted to write it onto my inventory that I have a circuit board. Oh, and I was going to say, but I have a quest to find one, and I don't. I need to find a microchip and a power core. But a circuit board I can keep for myself for now. And I think those are used by RoboMon blueprints to upgrade your RoboMon into more powerful RoboMon, but I don't have any blueprints yet. So I'm going to search a couple of these magnifying glass spaces with this chart down here. So it's just D4 rolls. I got a 1, which is a battery, my favorite, and a 2, which is a sensor. I have 12 batteries now and 1 sensor. Could try to capture some wild RoboMon, but let's wait and see what the other people have to say. I'm going to explore this cave, 2913. So it says, "You take notice of the seaside cave, dark and quiet. Upon closer inspection, you can see there are many footprints at the entrance. A small sign outside shows a handwritten permit for excavation only. Inside," why did I go inside? The sign said not to, but I guess we are not shy. Inside, you find a team of 3 working under tall lights aimed at the floor of the cave. Dr. Cinda is crouched and carefully dusting at a metal panel. Marcus, the assistant, is adjusting the lights, and Simon has his hands deep in the pages of a hefty scientific journal, flipping back and forth. They must all have name tags. Hey, Simon says, are you the new intern? I don't think so, says Dr. Cinda, but then again, who knows with you-know-who running the department? You step closer to see what is going on, and Dr. Cinda looks at you with a gleam in her eye. Are you curious? This is old world technology, pre-catastrophic. You get closer. The researchers, gleeful, watch as you gaze at the old machinery they have uncovered. Make an intelligence check. So my intelligence is the one that I put the +2 in, so you assign your stats. At the beginning of the game, you make your character. We got a +2, a +1, 2 zeros, and a -1, but intelligence is my strongest with +2, and on top of that, I have Treadle, which gives me a +1 bonus from this light bulb intelligence icon there, and Burn Viper, which is also on my team, also has one. So I'm actually going to be getting +4 to my roll of 2d6. So let's see, 5 + 1 is 6, which would not be good, but +4 is 10, which is good. Not only do you realize this is a control panel for a weather monitoring station, but your eyes begin to start following the wires that spread out and disappear into the surrounding stone. Mesmerized by your actions, the researchers watch in awe as you trace your fingers up the stone walls until you find a switch. You look at them and grin, and press it. The panel flickers on, and suddenly many more lights appear under the dirt. It's still operational, exclaims Dr. Cinda excitedly. I cannot believe it. We need to find the power source. She shakes your hand strongly while Simon and Marcus begin to take pictures of the cave, now glowing with blue and yellow lights. Here, says Dr. Cinda, we won't need these now. In a research certification point, a battery, and a medium reprogrammer. Well, a battery I can do, and a medium reprogrammer is nice. That makes 2 of those. Help me capture more RoboMon, or reprogram them. But a research certification point, I don't know where to put that. Well, I guess that would be here. So these are the certificates, and we get to collect points, and this one says research. So a research certification point, we now have 1 out of 22. I guess if we hit 22, we earn the sticker. I don't think my prototype has stickers, though, so I'll just have to enjoy the accumulation of points for now. But the rules reference says that these certificates can come with special abilities also. Next, I think I'll explore up here on the ridge. As you climb the cliff, what looks like a lighthouse comes into view on the upper ridge. Upon closer inspection, you see many wires and radar dishes on it. The building's green and white paint is old and scratched by the ocean winds, a naval outpost forgotten by time. You also notice a hatch on the side of it is open, but firmly out of reach at the top of a tall cliff. Looking at the loose stones at the bottom, it is clear others have attempted this climb before. You place one hand on a rock and begin to climb. Hold, they're not too tough on your hands, but if you don't move quickly, you find yourself in a free fall. That doesn't sound appealing, but it says to make an agility check. My agility is +1, but I don't have any RoboMon to help with that. So put our luck in these blue dice here. 6 and 2 is an 8, +1 is 9, so we didn't hit the 10 plus, but 9 is pretty good. Scratched and bruised, you scramble up the rock face. You have a few close calls, but in time you arrive at the top where the hatch is. A few more steps and you feel the cliff crack beneath your feet. Worried, you move quickly inside the damaged silo, grabbing anything you can before leaving and clambering down the way you came. And a bolt and a medal. I'm risking my life for pieces of robot parts. I guess this game doesn't have hit points for the players, so I don't have to worry. Alright, let's talk to this surfer guy over here. 12-14. And that's another battle. A lot of rocks on here. That's some more beach battle music. He's got RoboMon number 15 in the verse deck, which is going to be Finrid, big old whale guy. 10 health, 3 movement with swimming, 3 armor tokens. That is a lot of health and 39 speed, bash, tail whip, and water gun. Our Treadle is definitely going to be relevant. Fireball is going to be pretty bad. I almost wonder if I should bring Sparky into the battle instead of Pandal, because it can repair and boost Treadle. You know what? Let's try it. I think the Slam would still be good, and Overcharge is nice. I haven't even used Sparky yet. Let's try a Sparky Treadle combo. Pandal still has 1 damage. That means I get to pop Sparky's token out for the first time, put him on the board. Movement is going to be an issue though. Treadle is very slow, and there are no trees to climb. Maybe Finrid will come to us. Only 1 move. A lot of attacks and range. I should have set the speed. We have 39, 30, and 28. So Finrid actually goes first, and a 4 means he wants to use Water Gun, which is a range 6. Speed is only 3 with his swim, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is still out of range. We need our action tokens and Finrid's 3 armor. Treadle's definitely not getting in range, so I'm just going to have Sparky use Boost. We're going to use the token as a special along with these 2 dice. I am not sure how this works because it says target RoboMon receives 3 energy, range 3, so we're within range of that. Treadle has its starting value of energy, but I don't know if that is the maximum. I briefly checked the rules reference, but if it's in there somewhere, I missed it. I'm going to go ahead and say it gets 3 more. Kind of overclocking a little bit. Sparky does have to spend 2 of its own energy for that, and I think I won't move it at all. So I'm just going to leave Sparky here, and because I want to spend all of the movement available for Treadle. So we're going to use the token and both of these dice spend an energy to change this to movement, or the wild to a movement, so we can move 6 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although I guess Spinrid is going to maybe move into range. No, because it's got 75% chance to use a range attack, so it won't bother moving that much forward. So let's just go ahead and get as close as we can. And then reset the round with 7 fresh dice. Now we have the movement. Not much else. A little bit though. Finrid goes first with a 1, which is its melee attack. It is targeting the fastest RoboMon, which would be Sparky, but Sparky's going to be too far away with 3 movement. So it'll just move to here, I think. I don't think it moves the 3rd space because it's not going to be able to get to Sparky. Not sure about that. Oh, and I should have thought of that because Bash has push 2 on it, and we're standing right in front of this difficult terrain. So that's going to be extra damage, and it is not a water attack, so it's a normal modifier. 3 minus 1 is 2, that's nice at least, but 2, then with the push 2 actually makes it 4, I believe. So I'm going to spend 1 of Treadle's energy to use the wild as a shield and prevent that down to 2. The question is, do I also use this token? And I think I will. So we're going to use both of those and take no damage. Sparky's next. Now we have plenty of movement to be able to get closer. 1, 2, 3 away now. So movement is orthogonal, but range can be diagonal. So we could repair the Treadle, but we'd have to spend our special die, and I don't think we want to do that. So I'm just going to move again. 1, 2, 3. And we can attack in melee with Bite. So let's use this token and this die for a 2-point bite, just a basic 2 damage with 2 symbols. So 2 damage plus 1 is 3. Unfortunately, 3 being an odd number will break 1 shield, but the 3rd damage is wasted. But now Treadle can use this 1 special die to use Fertilizer Bomb. Fertilizer Bomb's first value is 4. It does cost 3 energy though. It's a good thing we have Sparky around to boost it, and that is 4 damage. Grass is strong against water, so we get to use the advantage modifier die, and 4 plus 2 is 6 to get rid of the last 2 armor and deal 2 damage. 8 health left. Let's see what we get, and then what Finrid does. It's D4, it's going to do its 4, which is Water Gun. So range 6 doesn't matter because it's in melee. It wants to target a rock or fire type, which we don't have. So it'll just attack the closest, I think, and they're tied, so I guess we get to choose. And of course I'm going to choose Treadle. If you want to get really technical, we could say that our orthogonal adjacency is closer than in a diagonal adjacency. But I think it's just up to us either way, so we'll have Finrid attack Water Gun, 4 damage against Treadle, but water has disadvantage against grass, so it will be rolling the red modifier die. And that's actually a miss. I think every time enemy RoboMon has had disadvantage, it has missed against us. Treadle only needs 1 special attack symbol, and it can use it from its token. So let's use these, or really we only need 1 of these also. Yeah, we have a bunch of dice we don't need, but we're going to have Sparky boost, or rather repair Treadle. It took this damage from a previous fight, but let's get it off while we can. Use the die, use 2 energy, and heal 2 damage. And then Treadle's going to Fertilizer Bomb again for 3 energy, 2 special attack symbols, which is going to be 5 damage with advantage, and we get to 8. Only the plus 2. It's actually the worst result on the advantage die. Well, it depends on your base damage, but crit would double it. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Finrid still has 1 health. Alright, let's close this out. Got our new dice. Roll to see what Finrid does. 3 is also a water gun. We'll have it target Treatle again, of course. So attacking 4 with disadvantage is another miss. So we can go ahead and have Sparky use, I guess we'll use Boost. We'll just use its action token to give 3 energy to Treatle, bringing it up to 5, and then Treatle is going to spend 2 stars and 3 energy to use Fertilizer Bomb for 5 with advantage, and that doubles up to 10 to finish off Finrid with style. And I think that use of Sparky worked out. The battle might have taken a little bit longer. We actually ended up healing by the end of the battle. We have less damage on us than when we started, thanks to a couple critical misses. I'm going to bring Pandal back for later. We can use anybody, but keep these as my main duo for now. Just a reminder that we have Sparky and Burn Viper on our team also. So, leaving the surfer, we'll head down and talk to this lady on her beach towel at 2114, because we're not shy about talking to anybody. A young woman lounges on the beach sunbathing. You try to strike up a conversation with her. Either tell her a joke or ask her what time it is. And let's tell her a joke. You tell her the best sunbather on a beach joke you can think of. Make a charisma check. I've made a huge mistake. I have neither pluses nor minuses for charisma. All up to the dice this time. 6 and 6 is a 12. We happen to know a joke about sunbathers on a beach. You hit the joke's punchline and the woman snorts loudly before laughing so long that you start to feel uncomfortable. I mean, it wasn't that good of a joke. She finally catches her breath. Wow, I needed that. She says, here, take this. You might find a use for it. And it's time for me to get a new one anyway. She snorts again. But now I want to hear the joke. And I get to draw card 5 from the adventure deck. Hope this has the joke on it. Nope, just a broken watch with the keyword screen. Alright, maybe we can tell what time it is later, except for that it's broken. Found on the beach. Looks like it's about 2:13 p.m. 1373. Am I calculating that right? And the last node we haven't looked up yet is the little girl swimming, 1814. See if she wants to have a RoboMon battle. Looks like she doesn't. You see a little girl splashing in the water. As you approach her, she says, hey, come play with me. She splashes water at you. My stinky sister just wants to lay in the sun all day. Should be lie in the sun, but now I can toss her high into the air or see who can hold their breath the longest. Now I gotta start metagaming it because I gotta pay attention to my stats. Toss her into the air is probably strength, and hold your breath is endurance. I didn't read ahead, I'm just guessing. My endurance is my -1, strength is a 0, and I have Pandal who will help me out with strength, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss her. And indeed it does say to make a strength check. So let's roll with +1. 5 and 6 is 11, +1 is 12. Your muscles flex and your veins bulge out as you send the little girl into the sky like a rocket. She hangs in the air, almost floating before finally plunging back down and disappearing into the water with a huge splash. She's underwater for quite a while before finally resurfacing and swimming back to the shore. I'm gonna lie down now, she says in a daze before handing you some things she found on the sea floor. Gain 2 batteries and a wire. And here they got the lie correct. 2 batteries, puts me to 15, and my 3rd wire. So I guess I'll have to come back once I get a fishing pole because I didn't get to use this fishing pole search chart, but I should go ahead and search for wild RoboMon, right? So I'm going to roll on the chart down here, and I do have to spend a battery to use my RoboMon finder. We're going to use 2d6 in a different way now. We got a 6 and a 5. And as you can see, we've got 3 14s, 2 5s, and 2 6s, which look like the rare ones. But with a 5, which actually doesn't even appear on the chart, I can put the 6 as an 8 if I spend 2 more batteries, and the 5 can become a 4 with 1 battery, and I can battle this rare RoboMon number 6. I say rare just because 8-4 seems, I guess it's not that much. Yeah, you had to spend a battery to get down to this 8 row, so it can't be that common, right? So that's 3 batteries spent. Still have 11. Let's search the verse deck for RoboMon 6. It is a Reginaire, a very cute little guy. This is an air type. Interesting to find that in the water, but I guess it just loves to swim. Kind of wanted a water type, but I don't have an air type either. I mean, I could keep searching and try one of these other ones, but let's go ahead and battle this little guy. And this is going to be a wild RoboMon battle, so we're not going to use a grid. The movement symbols don't do anything, but the timer symbols do. So let's keep on screen for a second. We got the 5 timers there. If we have 5 timer symbols on him, and it's his turn, he will run away. We won't get to capture him. He's going to get 1 armor. He's got 9 movement, which again doesn't matter. 66 speed is going to put him first and 9 health. He's got Scratch, Fan, and Tailspin. Do we want to use Pandal and Treadle? Actually, with Fan, it has an advantage against both of them. Air having advantage against Fire and Grass. Fire does not have a resistance to air, or disadvantage against air, I should say. Grass does, so Treadle's Fertilizer Bomb will be out of the question. Let's just stick with what we've got. We're going to try to capture it, give it 1 armor, number 1, 2, and 3. And get our action dice. Here we do right off the bat have a movement and timer. Movement again doesn't do anything. The timer is going to add 1 timer to Reginaire right away, and that's 1 out of 5. And then Reginaire will go first, and let's see what it wants to do. 2, it's going to target the lowest health RoboMon, which is Treadle, with a Scratch. It's only 2 damage with a modifier of +2, 4 damage to Treadle. We can use this armor, and let's use its token as well. Let's defend for all that damage. So Pandal, we probably don't want to use any of these special because again, fire is not resistant or disadvantaged against air. So we can have Pandal use 3 special symbols for Fireball. We could use its attack token as well, but we have the dice, so we're going to do a 6-point Fireball with the regular modifier of 0, so just 6 damage. Reduced by 2 is 4, putting Reginaire down to 5 health remaining, and then Treadle can use Clamp, which is a non-typed attack. And yeah, let's turn this wild into an attack to be able to do extra damage. So it's going to cost 1 energy plus 2 to clamp is 3 total energy, bringing it down to 4. It has the trap symbol, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the d4 along with the modifier die. 3 means it does not trap the Reginaire. -2 means that 3 drops down to 1, and that's 5 out of 9 damage. 4 left, and I wonder with a medium catcher if I could succeed here, but that's the end of the round. We have to go ahead and re-roll the dice. 2 more block, 2 more timers, brings it up to 3. Some basic attack symbols. Reginaire wants to use Scratch again against the lowest health RoboMon. Again, Treadle. 2. Whoops. +2 is 4. And let's block all that with these. Then Pandal. So 3 health left, so we have to be careful. 4 health left. But like if I use Slam for just 2 damage and I roll a +2, we can't catch it. So I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to use a medium reprogrammer, which is a D6, and I'm going to forego Pandal's turn in order to throw a medium reprogrammer and try to capture the Reginaire to practice throws. So we just need the D6 to be 4 or more, as modified by wherever it lands. If it's touching a section, we get the benefit of the best section, but if it's completely outside of the red line, we fail. If we miss, I believe that does not consume our reprogrammers. We can try again on Treadle's turn without spending anything. So let's give it a try. We got a 6, and we are in the +1 zone. That's 7. 7's more than 4, so we succeeded. Reginaire is now added to our team. The verse version of the card is going to go back into the deck. It is RoboMon number 21. We'll put that here, and then we can pull number 21 from this deck and get Reginaire, which is going to give us an agility bonus, 10 health, 6 energy, 66 speed, 3 movement, Scratch, Fan Attack, and Tailspin, and move up to 3 extra spaces per turn as if it has flying. That is very nice mobility, complete opposite of Treadle. So go ahead and add Reginaire to my team stack over here with the Burn Viper and Sparky, but I'll definitely consider bringing Reginaire to a battle. And one more thing we don't want to forget is to add the journal entry for Reginaire as well. Get number 21. Cute little guy here says, regulates air quality in mountainous areas. I wonder why we found it at the beach. So we'll add him to our journal. And let's just take a look at the next zone before we end the video. So we're going to move to 16, which is right here, the Pyrite Cave. And we'll end it there. So come back next time as we explore the Pyrite Cave now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers, and bye.